Hey guys, it's Pierre from Spyder TV. Today I'm in Ohio meeting up with Mr. Baker from Baker Built Airwings. How you doing, Mr. Baker?
I'm doing just great, and your name is Pierre. Okay, and you're from
Montreal.
Montreal. Okay, how many miles is that from here?
We did about 670 miles to come down.
Oh, wow, that's a long drive.
Yeah, but I got a good chauffeur. I got my dad that he's behind the camera and he's my number one chauffeur. So we relayed each other, came down yesterday. So it took about 11 hours.
Oh, great. Okay, well, it took us about 4 hours from Van Noord, Ohio.
To let people know, we're actually meeting up at F4 Customs. So Mr. Don Frank is very nice to let us use his studio, and we're going to be filming here today. Mr. Baker, tell me a little bit about what we're going to see today. We're going to show people 3 different products. Maybe name those for us.
Okay, we actually got 4. We got an air wing with an upper.
Okay.
Then we have an inner panel that finishes that off, especially for colder, wet weather.
Okay.
We have a leg wing that fits lower on the Spyder. We come out with a new foot peg system that's very easy to install. You just simply take 2 bolts out and put 2 bolts back in and connect a little brace bar, and within 15-20 minutes you got your foot peg brackets on.
Okay, and you got something for the belt on it?
We got what we have referred to as a belt stabilizer.
Okay.
And a unique part of ours, it's about a 5 to 10 minute installation. You just take a nut off of a bracket, put the bracket on, put the nut back on, and install a little pulley. No adjustments required.
All right, so everything we're going to be doing today is it can be done by somebody who's not normally very handy. It's all very easy. Under half an hour, we'll get everything done.
Well, on an individual basis, you probably can't put. I could put the whole set on probably in a half hour, but the average person to put all 4 units on would probably take an hour.
Okay, no problem. So let's get to work.
Okay, all right. Okay, the first thing we do is pull this panel off. Or what I start out is right here. I pull this out here, and I reach up here and on-click this, on-hook that, and this pulls off pretty hard. So you got to pull pretty good. There's also one down here at the bottom. Okay, the next step is we need to take this screw out right here, and then we need to install this mounting bracket right here. So I got a power drill here, just makes it a little easier, a little quicker. Then the next step is we take this bracket, and there is a right and left, so when this is put in there, it goes in at an angle, but then this top part needs to be level. So now I take and put this screw in, and one of the most important things is when you tighten this screw, it needs to be clear up here as high as it'll go. It needs to be up touching here, and it needs to touch here, but this needs to be level here. So I've got to make sure it's good and snug. Okay, the next step is we take this here side panel that we took off, and we need to put the side panel back off. We need to put this here and this in first. So I put this up here and line that up. This needs to hook up here over the top. And these will push in a little bit hard, so we need to make sure they're snapped in, and we need to make sure this is snapped in. Now, that step there is complete. Okay, the next step is we need to take alcohol, and you can either use a paper towel or an alcohol swab. We need to clean this real good, then we take and dry it. So I'll go ahead and take the cap off my alcohol bottle. I kind of like an alcohol swab just for convenience, but just make sure we get the top of this clean. From here, clear to here, needs to be good cleaned, but then we need to make sure it is good and dry. So I wipe this several times with a paper towel. Make sure it's good, clean, and dry. Okay, now our next step is this here. There's a right and left, so we need to make sure we get the right on. On the left side here, we put the narrow end to the inside. This needs to fit even with the inside. This needs to follow this radius. Now I need to take the cover off of this tape. It's a little bit tough to get on. But then I usually look from the top down, make sure, whoop, you want to get it in place before it really touches. When you get it in place, then press down and hold it, and really put a lot of pressure on and hold it for up to a minute, because this is important that you get a real good adhesive on this. We call this a plastic bracket. So without that's in place, it fits on there good. That is industrial quality tape, and it really sticks good. Okay, our next step then will be mounting the air wing here. We'll be putting a screw in here, and then we'll come down. We'll put a couple screws in here at the bottom. So I take this little quarter inch by 3/4 inch long bolt, put in there, and I start it, but I don't tighten this up yet. Now my next step is this goes on top here, and I take a little plastic screw. I put this in from the bottom. I put this on there. I put a little black plastic washer on, and I put this here 1024 cap nut on. Then I take the other plastic screw, line this up, put it in from the bottom, put a black washer on there. I put another black cap nut. We also have these available in chrome hardware, but in this case we're installing everything with black hardware. Okay, now that I have my 3/8 wrench, I take, and you don't want these real tight, just about a half turn past finger tight. These are plastic screws. We use that for purpose for safety issues. Now that I got these bottom tight, now I put this in a natural position. Now I go up here and tighten this. I'm using a 7/16 wrench here, and I'm tightening this in here up. So I make sure they're good and snug. You want these adjusted here so they turn easy by hand, but you want them tight enough that the wind don't move them going down the road. So you want, it takes about 10, 15 pound pressure to turn them, and these are adjusted this about perfect. If you need to adjust them, you need a 7/16 wrench here and a 7/16 here. So basically, like I say, the main thing is don't over tighten them. They need to turn easy by hand, but they shouldn't be moving going down the road. So now the installation is complete. Okay, we do have another option. We have an inner panel. It goes in here that blocks some of the cold and rain that comes right through here. The air wings do a great job of bringing the air in on you and keeping the air off of you, except in cold weather you get a little air right on your knees. So we have this optional inner panel that goes in here and actually blocks that little bit of air that comes on your knees. It's just an option. It's not necessary unless you ride in a lot of cold and wet weather, and then you'd appreciate the inner panel. Okay, now the next step is we take this little 1/4 screw out, take the 7/16 wrench. Okay, this goes in here through here like this from the bottom. We put this white washer on here. Then we put this black spacer on there, and then we go back and screw it right back into this original location. We just take a short screw out, we put in a longer screw, we put in a spacer. And basically this needs to be adjusted the same way as we do here. That needs to be a fairly stiff turn. It needs to be tight enough that the wind don't blow up, but you need to be able to turn easy by hand. Okay, we want to thank you for watching our installation videos of the Spyder Air Wings. To get more information on our products, go to bakerbuilt.com. I'm Bruce Baker from Baker Built Airwings, and you've been watching Spyder TV.